Hello and welcome to Conversation. As we continue on with our conversation class, I would really like to encourage you to try to use your conversation as much as possible. Anytime you have an opportunity to speak to anyone, if you happen to know a number, or when you're greeting someone, anything you know, try to use it. It will really help your learning time to get faster and faster. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but help you to speak much faster. It's something to know it up in your head. It's another thing to use it actively. And that's why being in a foreign country while learning a foreign language is so much more effective, because you can practice. But it's also difficult because you have to put yourself out there. It's easier to just say hi. It's easier to say bye. But if you know how to say it in their language, try it, keep trying it. It will get easier. It will get you'll just get more fluent, rolls off your tongue. So use it as much as possible. I'd like to encourage you today. Okay, we have several things we've learned, and we will review at the end. But right now I just want to talk about numbers a little bit. We've already learned the number 1, muy, and the number 2, pi. That was that consonant. That's a little different there. The number 3, you've already learned the vowel for it. And that is this vowel. Okay, and I guess I'll put it in there. The number 3, bay. One thing to note, it's interesting just how different cultures, if I were to count, normally with children in English, we'd say 1, 2, 3. A lot of times a Cambodian 3 is this instead. So it's just a little interesting fact. A lot of times for 3, they'll do their hands this way to show 3 instead of our traditional English or probably American way of showing 3. Doesn't really matter. Either way, they'll figure out what you're talking about, but they're probably not saying okay. It's probably the number 3. Anyway, bay. The number 4 starts with the same letter. And once again, we've seen this vowel a lot. The U vowel. Now, this is uan. It ends with an N. But buan. That's your accented syllable. Buan. Okay, so you have muy, pi, bay, buan. And then not the last one, but the 5th, pram, actually starts with a B as well. So you've got the number 2, which starts with that special type of B. Okay, for all you music majors out there, it reminds you of the word Bram, the composer Bram. A couple differences. The B is the same. This has to be a rolled R. Bram. Okay? So just roll your R. The composer, Bram. This is an AH, like stick out your tongue and say ah, as we've used several different times. This is the number 5. All right. So that one's easy to remember. Bram. Review. Muy. Pi. Bay. Buan, pram. Now, where Khmer gets easy is that for the number 5, they simply say, I'll write these out. So we have B and our small little h that we crossed out with an E. And for our muy, we said, okay, so it's number 1, number 2. For the number 6, they simply say, pram boy. Okay? And when they do that, pramoy, I said it correctly earlier, but this is the accented syllable, or the accented word of the two. Pramoy. Okay? 7 would be prampi. 8, prambay. Prambuan. Okay, so that's another way. There is another word for 7 that is more colloquial. We can talk about that later. But for now, prampi is okay. It's actually the correct way, the way that they would learn in school. So let's count up to 9. Mui, pi, bay, buon, pram, pramui, prampi, prambay, prambuon, and then the last one, you know, I apologize. I'm going to quick look at the camera and make sure I have this actually in the camera. Okay, so we're good. This is aw, like for a kid, you know, you see aw, you're so sweet. Okay, this one has to be short. Or, you know, I believe that other times I wrote fast. So get to the B as fast as you can. Dop, dop. Okay, instead of dop, dop. Once again, you'll notice if you speak to Khmer speakers, a lot of times their end consonants, when they speak English, their end consonants are not pronounced. Like they might say hat or S's too. There's S's at the end of the word. Has would be hat, and the S wouldn't be there. That's because most Khmer words, actually no Khmer words ends with an S, but even the other consonants, they're never pronounced. They're just a way to stop the word. So you might be tempted to say dop, dop, but it's simply stopping it. Do not let the B sound come out. Dop, dop. Okay? No pronunciation there at the end. That's something to remember about a Khmer word. So once again, let's count to 10. Mui, pi, bay, buon, pram, pramui, prampi, prambay, prambuon, dot. Okay, and then you have it really easy from there. You actually know how to count to 19. So dot mui, dot pi, dot bay. Can you count with me? Dot buon, dot pram, dot pramui, dot prampi, dot prambay, dot prambuon. So there, just 4 extra words. You now know how to count up to 19. All right, one other thing we want to talk about is another relationship word, and that is for grandma and grandpa. Excuse me here. Grab my eraser. Grandmother and grandpa. The word grandpa is the easiest, so we'll start with that. Okay? Let me write a little larger here. Make sure it can show up. Okay, this is the word for grandpa. This is once again that TH that we talked about. Anytime I write TH, I always mean about that TH, where the tip of your tongue is more pressed flat against the roof of your mouth. Cambodia does not have any THs that your tongue goes through your teeth. So anytime I talk about TH, it's always that TH that I'm talking about behind your teeth. Okay? And then this is like the first vowel we learned. Ta, ta means grandpa. So if you were to greet somebody, Jomriep sua ta. Okay, there's another word you can add to it. You might hear people add. That's okay. We can talk more about that later someday. But ta for now is okay. The next one for grandmother is a little bit harder. All right, yay, yay, yay. Okay, and it almost sounds like they're saying yay, yay. Okay. This one's a little bit difficult. So ta, yay, ye. Sorry, I'm having a hard time saying it in this way. Ta and yay. Okay. This is your accented syllable, and this time your A actually has a Y on it. Ta and yay, yay, yay. Okay, yay. The A is more quiet. And once again, this is the closest. It does sound slightly different, but this is the closest, at least for now. So, Jumbriep so ye, okay? The ye, right there. Let's go on. We know how to say my name is Knyom Chmua. We want to be able to ask people their name. So to ask someone their name, what I'm teaching you right now is what people speak every day. If you were to learn in the classroom, they would have several different words, like a question word. What I'm teaching you is what people say every day. So not necessarily textbook correct. That is something that you can add those extra words later. I think sometimes it's hard to speak at the beginning because we try to get everything textbook correct at the beginning. This is how someone would normally ask, what's your name? Okay, and the first word is Chmu. We've already talked about this one. Chmu, Knyom Chmu. Okay, so the first word is Chmu. And then the second word is ai, means what? Okay, sometimes they add a little extra W in there, avai, but ai is okay. Chmu ai, chmu ai. And a lot of times we would add this relationship word right here. Like you could say baon chmu ai, baon chmu ai, or bong chmu ai, bu chmu ai, ming chmu ai, ta chmu ai. Okay? So this is how to ask their name. It's basically saying what name. And then this would be, see, when Americans or English-speaking people, when we speak, we like to use the word you. Okay? So in Khmer, a lot of times when people teach, actually at the schools, they'll always use, what's your name? You, what's your name? In all honesty, that's not how Khmers normally speak. Outside of textbooks, outside of school, for foreigners, they normally don't use the word you like that. You would actually use their title instead. So that's how I would like to teach you, so you sound more like a native, a national Khmer. Bong chmu ai, baon chmu ai. And really for older people, it's really okay just to call them by their title and to not really know their name. If you want to know their name for some reason, that's okay. But in America, at least, it's more respectful if you call them by their name. In Cambodia, it really does not mean anything. I know people who are friends for a long time. They've known each other for a long time, and they know each other's name, but they don't call each other by their name. It's just that's the way the language is set up. So younger kids, though, you want to learn their names. Sorry, people who are your age want to learn their names. So this is an easy way of asking chmu ai. So we've learned how to count to 10, or actually 19. We learned grandpa, ta, grandma, yay, yay. What's your name? And then I would like to teach a very simple way that you can buy something. And that is just by saying, I'm not even going to write it on the board, but let's say you go to a little shop and you want a Coke. Okay? You could pick up the Coke or point to the bottle of Coke, and you could say, Som, please. Som, moi. Please, one. In that context, they would understand that you're trying to purchase it, right? Not just simply asking for something. So you could say, Som, moi. You go up to a coffee shop and you see a list of drinks. You want an iced coffee. You could point and say, Som, moi, or Som pi. Whatever it is. That's an easy way of purchasing something. So just the word please, please one. Point to it, please one. Okay? When we add, for instance, coffee is the word cafe. It would actually be som cafe moi. and then you could add 1 glass, whatever. But for now, just som mui. So try to use it. When you go out, you want to order something, try to make yourself point to it, som mui. It's good, and it will be understood. It's words that I even use nowadays. I know other words, I know the more formal words. It's something that I would say, you know, nowadays that the Khmer say to each other, som mui. Okay? And in that context, they would know that you're trying to buy something. Another thing you'll want to learn is excuse me or I'm sorry. And these 2 words you already know. The first word is som, meaning please, not in this case, but it's the word for please. And then toh, we said, I'm sorry, all of a sudden I'm wondering if we learned the word toh. Maybe we didn't. I'm starting to think we didn't. I'm sorry about that. Toh is the word for fault. Okay, so basically in a very short way, it's saying please excuse my fault. You bump into someone, you would say som toh. Now this O here has the air after it, so instead of som toh, with the H in it. So like the chmu has the H at the end. Som toh, right? Som toh. You bump into somebody, som toh. You want to get by, there's another word you can say, but for now you can just say som toh, and just to get their attention, so you can walk if someone's standing in your way. You spill something, som toh. Okay? Toh, toh. It ends with a H sound, som toh. If I ever say Khmer words, I was listening to one of the old videos the other day and I noticed I said a Khmer word in the middle. I'm sorry, this is very difficult for me to go back and forth between the 2 languages without slipping up, or just to remember what words you know and what words you don't. So if I say a word you don't know, don't worry about it, we will get to it. Okay, so just to review, we'll ask a few questions, and I have my list here of what you know. Okay, if you want to ask, how are you? Sok sabai te. Good. If you want to say thank you, akon. Hello, chumriep sua. Okay, and the more informal hi, sua sadai. What is the word for grandpa? Ta. That's correct. How do you ask somebody what their name is? Chmua ai. Okay. What about excuse me? Right here. Som toh. Okay. The number 3. Bay. How would you say my name is? Knyom chmua. All right. Please, we already talked about that several times. So, all right. What about the word for grandma? Yay. Hi. Yay. I apologize for that one. That one is still hard for me to say after all these years. So that one, if somebody says you're saying it wrong, it's probably me. I do apologize for that one. That one is always one of those that I say, but I know I'm not saying it 100% correct. It's just hard for me to get yay. Okay. Please one. Som mui. Or can I have one, please? And then the number 10. Dop. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.